Morning, good morning. Everyone can hear me all right? Just doing a quick audio check, making sure all is good. Morning, morning. Just making sure everyone can hear me all right. Everything's all right. Morning, good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Morning. How you doing?
How's it going? Did you have a good trip?
Yeah, dude, it was a great time. I cannot complain. Happy to be back, but the markets are kind of insane, huh?
Yeah, a little bit insane. A
What's
lot
up,
of
guys?
ups and downs in the overall market, and then small caps has been kind of interesting as well.
What's up, James?
What's up, dude?
How you guys
Hey,
been?
James.
What's up, Steve?
What's up, man?
Ugh, dude, what is with this freaking gits? That's nuts.
No borrows, man. And I'm even looking.
Oh,
I can't even see any. It's like 50 cents or something, maybe more.
yeah, they keep flashing, but they go so quick.
Anyway, so I'll be
Oh,
here for a couple more days, guys. I'll be here today, Monday and Tuesday, and then I'll be gone. So, told James to come on here as well, have him hang out. As you guys know, Steve is always on here, but we'll get started here in just a few minutes. So, tell me a little bit more about the markets. What's been working? What's not been working? I know the theme has been like the Bitcoin treasury stocks.
yeah, I mean, it's been kind of slow, like at the market open the past couple of days, like nothing too crazy, but pre-market, those Bitcoin, like treasury, like you said, dude, they've been some of the craziest squeezers. And similar to GITS, actually, a lot of stocks that have had no locates are squeezing like crazy. So it's been like pretty like erratic and just weird. It's been weird action, but
Right.
I mean, once at the open, like I said, it's been kind of slow, pretty straightforward. Same thing as yesterday. Just broken stocks have been working, but man, some crazy action. A lot of people struggling right now.
Yeah, man. Stuff
Yeah,
not
and for
too.
the most part, I mean, there was a couple days where we just kind of sat out. I mean, there really was nothing hitting our lines, kind of hit or miss. Yesterday, I think James hit a couple, I hit a couple. We kind of nailed these VSIG and ZO, but that was pretty much all that hit our lines.
Right.
Uh, Pretty much slow overall. I think I only traded like 2 days this week, something like that.
Wow.
Yeah, you missed
Yeah,
a good week, wasn't it? Wasn't anything crazy.
right. Kind of trying to avoid those Bitcoin
Treasury.
names because they were
Yeah.
kind of crazy. Yeah.
Okay, let's just get started here, guys, because I got a lot to cover. So let me take a sip of my tea. All right, everyone. Good morning. Welcome back to live trading. If this is your first time on live trading, welcome. We use the webinars channel in Slack to communicate. So as you guys know, I've been away for a couple days celebrating my brother's birthday in the Bahamas. So I'm back here today. I'll be back here trading today, Monday and Tuesday, and then I'm traveling to Italy with my wife for the first time. I oftentimes don't travel. I usually take like one vacation a year. So this is the one vacation a year that I'm taking. Thankfully for our amazing team and our amazing mods, they're here to help cover while I'm away. So let's first start with the obvious, SBET. So SBET is what we consider a black swan. It's what we consider a black swan because it doesn't happen often. Stock goes from 5 to 105 and whatever else it may be. So what caused this? What's going on? How can you trade it? How can you make money? So the first thing you have to understand about these stocks is what is the theme and the sector that is running. So right now we've been seeing that the main theme and the main sector is the Bitcoin treasury or any type of crypto treasury. So basically what that means is these companies raise money to buy crypto, essentially the exact same thing that MicroStrategy has been doing forever now. And that's been a very, very hot catalyst because Bitcoin has been obviously very, very hot. So a lot of these small cap junk companies are trying to continue to scam people by doing this Bitcoin treasury and all this nonsense. And at the end of the day, all that matters is the price action. So the price action that we've been seeing on these stocks has been very, 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 very aggressive to the upside. And because it's been very, very aggressive to the upside, it's very, very easy to get trapped on these names. So the main thing that you have to understand is that there's certain trades in the world of short bias that are complete avoids, right? So for me, I was a guy in the past that lost my ass multiple times on stocks like SBET. I lost hundreds of thousands of dollars trying to figure it out, and now I've gotten to the point in my trading career where I certainly feel like there's a lot easier setups out there. Just today we saw, VCIG, VIVK, BLRX, etc., which I'll go over shortly. But in the past, maybe because there weren't so many opportunities to trade stocks, everyone would flock to the same stock and get trapped. But these days, there's like 5, 10, 15 different stocks moving every single day. So you have no reason to be forced to trade these very, very difficult, risky plays because there's so many other plays to trade and so many other things to make money on. So for me, when I'm trading and what I'm looking at is I'm not looking to trade this shit, bro. You crazy? There's so many other plays. Like, check out this VVPR. VVPR, I mean, pretty much perfectly shorted $6, added to the winner, and covered on the dip. VIVK, waited for it to top out, identified the key support of 150, added at 150, took the money. So there's plenty of other opportunities and there's plenty of other stocks to trade every single day. So you don't have to be pigeonholed into trading the same stock and the same move every day. So for me, I think that a lot of short bias traders at least are entering the market and just shorting everything with a goddamn pulse, right? It's not how it works. It's not how it works. So for me, what I'm doing, give me a second, let me drink some tea. So for me, guys, what I'm doing is I'm trying to identify the theme in the sector. Once I identify the theme in the sector, the next thing I'm trying to do is trying to either see if that sector is continuing to remain strong or if there's some weakness happening in that sector. Aside from that, I want to focus on the stocks that have already topped out. The stocks have already made a trend. The stocks that have already moved, like VVPR. VVPR was moving yesterday. Obviously, I haven't been here. I've been away for the last couple of days. But it bounced to the whole number of $6. So I took my short there and I add to the winner. Yeah, it's kind of chopping around. Maybe if we get another bounce, I could short it again. But the main thing I'm trying to do, guys, is the main stock, the main sector, the main runner, I am not touching anymore, dude. I don't need the stress. I don't need the headache. When this SBET eventually pulls back, it's going to have $100 a share of downside. So that's kind of my overall thought process. I used to be the guy picking the top. I used to be the guy trying to nail all the shit. Now I'm looking for the easiest plays that people forget about. And I think that, well, I haven't seen too many horror stories online yet about this SBET, but you better believe that this shit is definitely destroying people left and right. So my thought process is let it trade, let it do its thing, and let's focus on the side plays and the sympathy plays and any other stock that is running basically for no reason. So that's my overall thought process on SBET. Is let it run, let it go to 150, let it go to 200, let it go to 500. I don't give a shit. But I am no longer in the business of trying to aggressively size up on nano float plays like that, because in literally 2 seconds you could be up or down $15 a share, and I'm not really interested in doing that with 10, 20,000 shares. So anyway, with that being said, guys, let's move on to today's trades that I have pre-market, and then we'll go into the watch list. So relatively simple. If you see Bao posted the $6 line on VVPR this morning, he posted VVPR needs a huge bounce to 6. I think this ended up getting pumped up around 6, and I ended up shorting that bounce. As soon as VWAP broke, I added to the winner, and as we continued to wash out, I took those profits and walked away. Yeah, it had another bounce towards 530, which I scalped, but overall, I took the meat of the move on this stock, and that's essentially all I need. With VIVK, relatively similar in the fact that I waited for it to top out. I started in short. I covered along the way. I identified 150 as the key support. When 150 wasn't breaking down, I started to reduce. And then I told myself, if I reduce and the stock ends up looking like it's going to break down, I'll just add it right back. Added it right back and got the easiest fade after that. So relatively simple setups. Obviously, I'm not interested in SBET short. BLRX is moving as well. We have this new stock GITS, but there's no locates on it, so I don't really care about that. Oh, another one that I'm kind of monitoring as well is this CoreWeave. So CoreWeave, I'm going to put it up. CoreWeave finally topped out. You can see on the daily chart, that is a very, very, very clear topping signal. Wicked up, broke the previous day's lows. So if we could get any type of bounce on CoreWeave, ideally towards like 110, 112-ish, I'm definitely going to be looking to short this for a backside of the move. So yeah, that's pretty much what I got there. So let's get into building the watch list. So as you guys know, the way we build the watch list, we always look at the previous day's watch list first and build from there. And because I was not here for the previous day's watch list, I will go use, where is this? James, Stephen, Harry, and Tom's watch list. So let's start there. VCIG. So VCIG, I mean, in a perfect roll, we would get a bounce towards 350. It's obviously broken, obviously dead. So I'll probably say 350, 4 and 420s. Yeah, 4 and 420s. So these broken, forgotten names are only the names I'm focusing on, right? VCIG, 350, 4, 425 to short. ZIO. Let's see the ZIO. So let's see. ZIO maybe looking for a red to green rejection to short this one. So ZIO looking for a red to green rejection to short this. One sec. ALZN. ALZN. Crazy range on these stocks, man. Wow. Probably about $6, 650, and 7. ALZN 6, 650, 7 short. BOSC, no volume, no range, so nothing there. SLXN, no volume, no range. NAOV, no volume, no range. ZIO, VCIG. So, okay, so we covered all the ones that were moving kind of from yesterday. Now let's talk about the ones that are moving today. So VIVK, I shorted this pre-market already, looking for 150, 170, 190 to short. VIVK, shorted this pre-market for a nice winner. Looking for 150, 170, 190 to short. Next is VVPR, same thing, shorted this pre-market. Probably love a bounce back to like $6-ish because it kind of seems like it's grinding back. VVPR, shorted this pre-market as well. Grinding back for now. Ideally, another push and rejection of $6 to short. BLRX is also moving. It's kind of broken down. So maybe a pop towards VWAP to short. BLRX, pop toward VWAP to short. What else is out there? SBET and GITS, hot stocks of the day, ignoring short. What else is out there? CoreWeave. CoreWeave topped out on the daily chart. So ideally a big bounce, 110 to 112 to short on this. And what else? So that's pretty much it for now, guys. Pretty extensive watch list anyway. BLSK. Let's see. BLSK. BSLK, sorry. BSLK. Yeah, we could look for a bounce there, 370, 420. BSLK 370. 420 to short. So there's a pretty extensive watch list already, guys. So I'm probably just gonna post this here. There's a lot of stocks to choose from. So the main thing here, guys, is to make sure that we're avoiding the hot stocks and only focusing on the side stocks. So let me post this out, and then I'm gonna kind of pass it over to James and Steven to see what their thoughts are on the market, because they've been here the last couple of days trading everything. So I guess let me pass the baton over to you guys and see kind of what your guys' thoughts have been on the market, any tips, any advice, and then we'll kind of take it from there.
Sure thing.
Yeah, Steve, you want to take it?
James, yeah, sure thing. So I think it was a couple of days ago, James, we were on the live trades. Actually, sorry, that was with Phil. And we were saying like there's really nothing, really hitting our lines, nothing moving. So, we talked about preserving mental capital. And I think that's really key in this market. I mean, I traveled one day and I think I only traded 2 days total. But the days that we were here, we showed up, we were ready, we had plans. And, when our lines don't come, we need a lot of patience sometimes, especially in this market. Then we just save our mental capital for the next day. And the next day we ended up nailing a couple of tickers. I think everybody here, when James was here yesterday, everybody nailed Zio, which was pretty nice. So that just goes to show that, when the market's like this, just wait for the right opportunities. We don't change our plans based on, what we see. If it doesn't fit, we avoid it, save your mental capital, and come back the next day.
Yeah, I mean, something I've noticed is, especially in this market, is it pays to be late. Like these squeezers have been out of control, and in the past, when you get a stock like GITS with no locates, usually you would have that kind of quick squeeze and fail. But now it's like, look at this thing. It's a massive runner, right? So 200+%. So I think right now the key has been just focusing on the broken stuff, same as always, same as any market really, and just kind of sticking to being a little later when these things break down and show like, all right, they've topped out. Let's re-short a bounce.
Yeah, confirmation is key.
Yeah. I mean, like my big focus, like I like VIVK today, like stocks like that. Like I think stocks like that in this market are great for nail and bail, quick little trades, and that's it. But we'll see. I mean, this GITS seems to have all the money flow still.
Yeah, and while we're both here, I mean, if you guys have any questions or anything you want us to kind of cover, any short topics, just feel free to chime in.
I think that the main thing as well, guys, is that like a lot of people in the markets are always focused on the shiny object. And don't get me wrong, SBET is shiny, it's kind of crazy, but like there's certain things that just have way too much risk and not enough reward, right? So it's oftentimes better to just kind of take it slow. So for me, guys, coming into today, I mean, thankfully I already did very well on VCIG and VIBK because of the stock selection, but I just want to make sure that even if this SBET goes from 110 down to 80, I'm not like, okay, now it's time to short it. Then it goes from 80 to 95, and I'm just like, what the fuck just happened? So for me, guys, I'd rather let it tank. I'd rather let everything happen first and then follow the trend. I have been burned way too many times trying to nail the top. I have been burned way too many times trying to nail everything that I end up nailing absolutely freaking nothing. So I think that a lot of inexperienced traders that just joined the market feel like they need to start shorting everything with a pulse. And the reality is that that's not really how you make money long term in the market for at least the short bias traders. And if anything, this is a long bias market. So we should be focused on going long more. Obviously, certain days everything just goes straight down, but we are most certainly in every single type of way, ignore what the media says, we are in a bull market. The indexes are like a few percent away from all-time highs. We are in a bull market. So if the market, like even think about today with China, there was news came out today that Trump and China are at a standstill. If this happened a month ago, SPY would be at 560. It's like barely anything happened. So a lot of people have digested the trade news. A lot of people have digested the so-called trade war. And a lot of people are calling BS on it. So it just goes to show that the same news a month ago would have crashed the market. Today, it's as if nothing ever happened. So that shows massive, massive, massive strength. Massive. So I made a video on this, I think it was like last week on the new YouTube channel, that I think that all-time highs are coming on the markets. Everyone laughed at me until we're just going to see all-time highs are going to come on the markets. So, yeah, I'll kind of pass it back to you guys. Sorry.
Yeah, and it's kind of interesting. Like, I'll bet you, I'd be curious to hear what you guys think, but I'll bet you a lot of guys are realizing, Alex, what you already knew when we made those, when we did those lives, a month and a half ago, which is when everything was tanking, it was the time to buy. And I'll bet you a lot of newer or less experienced investors or traders got hurt by the market on that big dip when it came, tanked down to 480 or whatever it was, the SPY. Then they realized that instead of selling, they should have been buying. So now it's back and they've got a bunch of FOMO. So on any bad news, they're probably just looking to buy or avoid that happening in the future. So I feel like when there's bad news now or something that seems like bad news, not only are people just kind of becoming immune to it because we hear it every day, but there's probably a lot of FOMO out there. And some people probably learned their lesson from watching what happened and how quickly this market will recover, how resilient it is, really.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it yesterday. It's not even just retail that got burned. If anything, it's like a lot of these hedge fund guys who are still sitting on the sidelines. And I think we have the most capital sidelined in the last like 5 years or 6 years. So it's going to be interesting to watch, man. If they have to chase this thing up. I mean, it's the same thing Alex said it on a live a long time ago. It's that old adage from Buffett, right? It's buy when others are fearful or whatever. And all that whole thing. And
Yeah, it's be fearful when others are greedy and greedy when others are fearful.
Yep. Worked out pretty good.
Yeah, and I'll bet you there's some correlation between the fact that, everybody, like you guys said, there's a ton of cash sitting on the sidelines right now, and they're not getting the value in, bonds that they used to. So I'll bet you a lot of people are in cash and, watching the cash, inflation hit and devalue a little bit and wondering, like, I need to get back in the market. They're just looking for any excuse to get back in because they don't know where to put their money right now.
Right. And that's
Besides Bitcoin, of course,
exactly
Bitcoin and gold.
Exactly like Anas posted is the hedge funds and institutions sold everything. And now they have to buy it all back because the way that they make money is by deploying capital. If they don't deploy the capital, then the investors are not going to be using their fund anymore. So a lot of these hedge funds, a lot of these institutions are underweight, meaning they do not have enough stocks because they sold it all off. And that's why you're seeing so much strength, is because they got to buy it right back.
Yeah, interesting. And they can only buy so much gold and Bitcoin, I guess. They got to get back in the market.
So that being said, guys, does anyone have any questions before we continue? We got about 6 minutes until the market opens. I'm just going to run to the restroom real quick. I'll be right back.
Sure thing.
Thoughts?
So, James, did you... I'm sorry, go ahead.
Christian asked thoughts on Oklo. Oklo is a $48 stock, so it's not something I'd recommend trading if you're usually trading small caps.
Yeah, out of my wheelhouse.
What were you saying?
I was going to ask, James, did you trade anything this morning?
Yeah. Here, let me post these in the chat. Traded that one and traded those two right there. VVIK and TYLS. It's kind of slow. It was actually like a pretty slow pre-market.
Nice one. I love those final ads you got right before that line cracked 1.5 VVIC.
Yeah, I mean, right, there's that 150 support, so figured I'm going to add, and if it kind of just bounced, I was just going to take it off, to be honest, but just kind of failed off. Of course, I covered way too freaking soon. If you see it now, it's at 115, so.
Man, that's just tough to predict, though,
Yeah.
I mean, you nailed it still, but yeah.
You never want to think a stock's going to, like, really unwind like that, but my plan was 140, 130, so I got it, and not much more you could do, man. Not much more you could do. Not going to cry.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think these charts, Vivek, is a really good lesson to those of you that are maybe newer and looking at charts, starting out. But look at how James didn't short when it was going up, right? He waited till we had that big rejection off 2.5, and we broke down towards VWAP, towards 1.8, 1.7. Then he probably got in with starters and then added as the trade confirmed, and then he added more on that 1-5 break. So I think we talk about this a lot. This is a big kind of one that I get a lot of DMs on. I think this is a really good chart for you guys to look at and think about.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, my like kind of like what I was just saying, right? Like my big thing is like I'm fine being late because whenever
Right.
I'm early, I get burned, right? Like I'm really not good at scaling. I'm really not good at being like anticipating. So especially pre-market, I want to wait until these things have that big rejection and kind of prove like, all right, well, this isn't going higher, right? And that's when I'll take my position, and it works out for me. But some people need to catch the beat higher or try to catch the top more. It's just
Right.
not for me.
Yeah, it's exactly like Alex was saying. We don't need to get the top. CSE asks about Cobra and preferred routes. I think there's two. There's like a REB one, but I use this pre 25L, which is limit.
Yeah,
I
just
don't know if
use
you guys
the
have any other suggestions.
REB 25L or the free. They're both the same exact route. They're just backups of each other.
Got it. Okay. So yeah, so use one of those routes. CSE.
Oh, I hope this VIVK bounces, man.
Yeah, I'll be watching VIVK, VVPR, CRWV. There's definitely a lot on watch. But the key is, like always, man, just take the money and run.
I mean, it's kind of crazy that like we've pretty much had a really slow week, and then Alex, you're back, and the market showed up again.
I mean, hey, I'm only gonna be here for a few more days. So actually, let me just mention that again. As a reminder, guys, I'll be here today. I'll be here Monday, and I'll be here Tuesday. And after that, I'll be traveling to Italy for 2 weeks. I'm actually gonna be meeting up with Tim Sykes and hanging out with him at his villa in Positano. So that should be really fun. But aside from that, the amazing mods that we have here will be here covering for me. And as you guys know, I don't really take much time off. I take like one vacation a year. So this is my one vacation halfway through the year. And yeah, with that being said, Steve, you want to let them know how they can sign up for live trading if they're watching on YouTube, and then we'll get started.
Sure thing. So if you guys have any questions about what we do, even if you want to ask something about trading in general, or specifically how to join our live trading sessions, feel free to email me at stevenrh1@myinvestingclub.com, and I'll be happy to answer any questions and help you guys out.
Yep. So what we do is we do live trading every day. This is kind of the first half where we make a plan, we set up the plan, and then right around now is when I cut off the live stream for the people on YouTube and start trading live for everyone in MIC. So with that being said, I'm going to cut off the YouTube live stream here, and let's get to live trading, guys.